Ay, 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 this is just getting weirder and weirder, and we don't know what's going on. Elliot Friedman went out there and said this an hour ago, that Corey Perry of the Chicago Blackhawks is on waivers. They are terminating his contract. Now, yesterday we did kind of allude to the crazy rumor that's going around that's definitely not true, but one that did make the rounds on social media in such a big way. But this right here, this news, the Chicago Blackhawks, they're terminating Corey Perry's contract until we get an answer, until we actually get reasons as to why this is happening. That rumor that we talked about, that's not going to go away anytime soon, even though everybody knows it's not real. Even though everybody can rationally conclude that the rumor about Corey Perry and whatever that happened with Bedard is not true, there's going to be no reason for us to stop, circulating whatever it is the internet is going to do until we get reasons, until the Chicago Blackhawks actually explain what's happening here. Charlie Romeliadis went out there and posted the statement from Chicago. Actually, is there a better tweet? Here it is. Mark Lazarus. After an internal investigation, the Chicago Blackhawks have determined that Corey Perry... Oh, there's a that. The Chicago Blackhawks have determined that Corey Perry has engaged in conduct that is unacceptable and in violation of both the terms of his standard player's contract and the Blackhawks' internal policies intended to promote professional and safe work environments. As such, Corey Perry has been placed on unconditional waivers, and in the event that he clears, they call him Mr. Perry. That's how you know it's serious, eh? In the event that Corey Perry clears waivers, we intend to terminate his contract effective immediately. Renaud Lavoie also says that Perry will be a UFA tomorrow at 2 p.m. And that's Eastern Time. If you're here on the West Coast, it's 11 a.m. PST. So, yeah, Corey Perry is going to be a UFA tomorrow. There are a bunch of people going out there talking about this entire thing. Even Frank Saravelli, he had the tweet about the statement that the Blackhawks made, and then he also made an entire thing here. I can't believe that something like this needs to be addressed, but with regards to Corey Perry and the Blackhawks moving to terminate his contract, I think it's important to squash a disgusting rumor that has circulated on social media. And that, of course, is the same thing we had talked about yesterday. Hey, there's a reason we went out there and didn't really, specifically say what happened, because it's so whack. But the internet is the internet, and people are going to circulate whatever it is the heck they want to circulate as long as it's quote-unquote funny. So, yeah, Corey Perry, dude, this is so weird, considering the fact that Perry was actually a pretty good player for the Blackhawks this season. I mean, 9 points, 16 games played, do the math on that, 9... Divvy 16, okay, my calendar's not working, or my calculator's not working, 9 divided by 16, multiplied out by 82, that's a 46-point pace right there. That would have been the best season he's had since 2017-18, with Anaheim. That's 4 teams ago, I can't do the math. And considering the playoff success, the regular season stuff that Corey Perry was able to accomplish throughout his career, we all acknowledge this is still a capable player. He is a good player. So, the fact is, he's going on waivers. His entire salary with the Blackhawks is planning to be terminated. My question here is this. What are the odds he actually gets claimed? He was not a bad player. 9.16 games in the Chicago Blackhawks, for crying out loud. Let's look at the list here. Where is he? Yeah, he's 4th overall on the team in points. Tied with Donato, tied with Foligno, just under Dickinson, Kurashev, and Bedard. Corey Perry was a legit product of player for this team, so I would care to assume that the odds of him going through waivers is not really all too high. Not unless the Chicago Blackhawks have a group chat that's going on with other GMs in the NHL saying, hey, Corey Perry did this. Corey Perry had something happen to him, or he did something that was in violation of our rules as a Chicago Blackhawks athlete and that breached his standard player's contract terms. So don't go out there and claim this guy, he's a bum, he did this, whatever. Until we actually acknowledge what happened here, there's no reason for fans to stop speculating. This is going to fuel a whole bunch of rumors, and you can't stop that because the internet is the internet, and Chicago not going out there and really giving any details. Like, we had earlier news from Corey Perry and the agent that, oh, he's stepping away from the team for personal issues. Like, he's taking a leave of absence because he's got some stuff going on. But the Blackhawks themselves didn't use that same language. They just said, yeah, it's a team decision, he's stepping away. And now, a few days later, we're terminating his contract. He's on waivers. Bye-bye, sayonara. He's out. Like, the lack of information here is so damning, because when it comes to things like this, especially with Chicago, the freaking Chicago Blackhawks that have covered things up in the past, like, the way it's worded here and what we're seeing, oh, he violated the terms on his standard player contract, and he violated the Blackhawks' internal policies intended to promote professional and safe work environments. Like, it sounds bad, doesn't sound illegal, though. Like, the way it's being phrased here, it doesn't seem like he has broken any laws. And as we had talked about in the video yesterday, if there were some legal things that were violated that Corey Perry did, of course, just speculating, not saying anything is, like, true or whatever. Like, if there were legal things, there are journalists out there who cover hockey who are smart enough and who have access to public records of, like, trials and stuff that goes on with the law and criminal investigations. We've seen this happen before with players just earlier this year. Alex Galchenyuk. There were journalists that were able to dig up what happened in Arizona with Galchenyuk. And now in Boston, there's Milan Lucic. There's stuff going on there. It's in the public eye. You could look this up on the Boston, police records, etc., etc. Corey Perry doesn't seem to have gone through any of that stuff. Of course, knock on wood, like, if anything actually did happen and there's some sort of an investigation that reveals itself later, then I'll rescind all the comments that I'm making in this video. But again, it all boils down to that main point. Chicago not telling us anything does not help anybody. It doesn't. It makes everything worse. Because now, if this is like a family situation, oh, he's taking some time away to help out with his folks, there's a pregnancy, or there's a marriage, or there's a death in the family, they're not going to terminate his contract. Something bad happened here. And, like, I mean, look, Frank Seravalli went out there and squashed the rumors that were circulating yesterday, but I'm not going to go out there and say that this is going to fix everything. Like, there's no way that people going out there and condemning the rumor from yesterday, that's not going to squash whatever is going on here until we actually learn. Because nobody has any reason to doubt whatever it is that people can think of nowadays. Corey Perry, at the end of the day, is going to go over on unrestricted free agency if he clears, which I honestly don't know what are the odds. Like, he's a good enough player that if he got claimed, I would not be surprised in the slightest, and his cap hit wasn't really all too high either. Okay, where's the cap hit? Yeah, let's try to find the cap hit here. Corey Perry, cap friendly. That's what we want to look at. Cap friendly, just to see what the contract number is because they removed it from elite prospects. Yeah, so he was making $4 million a year. Like, if you get $4 million a year out of a guy who is on pace for 40 points, or I said that backwards, if you get 40 points out of a guy who's worth $4 million a year, that's not bad. Not bad. So, Corey Perry, does he clear? I have no idea, but the Chicago Blackhawks are not helping us out in this regard. Apparently, there's a press conference that's going to go on. Kyle Davidson is going to be speaking in a little bit, so we'll see what happens there. But, yeah, Corey Perry is gone. The Chicago Blackhawks are terminating his contract. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.